Channel member, call me John. What are your predictions for which characters bite the dust in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, whether or not it's an in-universe or real-world reason? Ooh, jeez, I'd love that question. I remember back in like the Infinity War days, they're making death prediction videos was this shit, and I made one or two, I'm sure. For now, let's just do Doomsday. Let's not do Secret Wars yet. So who is most likely to die in Avengers Doomsday? Let's limit the discussion to only the confirmed cast, aka like the names that were on the chairs. And I've been very outspoken about the fact that I believe Wolverine, Deadpool, Spider-Man. I think they're totally in Doomsday, but for now, that hasn't been confirmed. Let's just stick with the 27 names that we know are in Avengers Doomsday. Number 1, Thor. No way. You do not kill Thor. I get the temptation to do it. He's an OG Avenger, but I think Chris Hemsworth and his portrayal of Thor are just too good to do away with. I think he's got another trilogy in him. I think the character of Thor, not on Earth, but out there as a cosmic character, would be awesome and a great recurring constant in this post-Secret Wars era of the MCU. And he's just too important of a character to have around to kill off. Number 2, we got Sue Storm, Invisible Woman. No, we already saw her die and come back in Fantastic Four. You don't do it again. She's too important to the future of the Fantastic Four franchise. Sam Wilson, Captain America. No, unless I could see them like continuing that shield paradox thing that we've talked about before, where remember we saw Steve leave to return the Infinity Stones in Endgame, and he did not have a shield with him. His shield got broken by Thanos in that battle. But when he came back as old Steve, he did have a shield, and he gave it to Sam. And I kind of fuck with the idea that old Steve Rogers, I like the idea of him, the life that he lived, part of that life having been him already fighting alongside Sam Wilson in Secret Wars, or in Doomsday and Secret Wars, against Doctor Doom. And maybe in these movies, we could see Sam die, and Steve takes the shield with him, the shield that his older self gave Sam. So Sam in his dying breath could give Steve the shield, and then he keeps it for the rest of his life. But then when he's old, he goes back in time and he returns the shield to Sam Wilson to complete that loop, making it to where the shield that Steve gave Sam in Endgame was really Sam's all along, and that Sam had given to Steve. Oh, that would be awesome. But then we get into what would that mean, like for Captain America? Is Chris Evans just going to be Captain America again? And what about Anthony Mackie? Is he just gone now? I don't really dig that. I think Chris Evans should come back as Nomad and let Mackie keep being Captain America for a while. All right, number 4, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. My wife is going to kill me, but yeah, I think maybe we see Bucky die. He's been a tortured hero, and he's an OG from Phase 1 who has a history with Tony Stark, who is now like Doctor Doom in a way. So we could see like Bucky finally get his ticket punched in Doomsday or Secret Wars. Number 5, Shuri, Black Panther. No, I doubt it. They already killed off T'Challa. They killed off her mother, the Queen. No. Number 6, Scott Lang, Ant-Man. No. Number 7, John Walker, U.S. Agent. Probably. Number 8, Namor. I doubt it. Still too much to do with Namor. He's a mutant. We're going into the mutant saga likely, so no. Number 9, Ben Grimm, The Thing. Absolutely not. Same reason as for all the Fantastic Four. We're continuing that franchise, so none of the Fantastic Four. Number 10, Shang-Chi. No way. Number 11, Yelena Belova. No. She's got a great future in the MCU. 12, Beast. Yes, 100% could see Beast and many of the OG X-Men die, simply because we know that once the MCU resets after Secret Wars, we're getting a whole new X-Men. So this could be like the swan song and like for those original X-Men, and feature a lot of their deaths. 13, Sentry, nah. 14, Joaquin Torres. Yeah, I could see them killing Joaquin Torres. Falcon as like a motivator for Sam. Number 15, Johnny Storm. Again, no, not killing any of the Fantastic Four, so Human Torch is safe. 16, Red Guardian. Yes, I could totally see him going, and that being a big driving force for Yelena, just like I think Joaquin Falcon, he would be a good driving force, like if he died, for Sam. And guys, there are a lot of characters in this movie. We need some fodder for Doom to kill, and they need to be people that'll have an emotional punch. So killing a character like Falcon, killing a character like Red Guardian, and the inspiration that would put behind Yelena and Sam, and maybe bringing them together. Because remember, right now they're kind of divided over the whole Avengers thing, so that could be good. M'Baku, maybe. I hope not. 18 Ghost. Yeah, I could see Ghost going, but maybe not. I think they need to do a Thunderbolt sequel, so she'd probably be good to have around for that. Loki, no way in hell. They've killed him enough. They better not do it again. Professor X, it's almost a joke at this point. Like with Loki, that Patrick Stewart's Professor X always dies and comes back. But yes, I do think that we could see him die yet again. Or, you know what? No, I don't. You know what? I do not think we're going to see him die again, because he's already died like 3 times. He died in Last Stand, he died in Logan, he died in Multiverse of Madness. So no. I'll explain why here in a second. Let me do Magneto first, though, and then we'll come back. So, number 21, Magneto. We've seen him die kind of in Days of Future Past, but not really. And I've talked a lot about how I think Ian McKellen's Magneto is in this movie. How I think Ian McKellen's Magneto in this movie is going to be an absolute badass and a major thorn in the side of Doctor Doom, as well as the Avengers of Earth 616. Because while Professor X, I think, is going to be team let's save all the universes, I think we could see Magneto be more in the realm of, nah, fuck them other universes. I'm protecting our universe, and if that means I gotta destroy other universes, fine. And then I think we'll see him, like, do what he always does, have his face turn, and then we'll see him ultimately decide to help Charles and the X-Men and the Avengers fight Doom. And I think Magneto will fuck Doom up bad. Like, out of all the heroes in this movie, in Doomsday, I think it'll be Magneto that comes the closest to actually beating Doom, but he'll die heroically. And then I think we could see both Magneto and Professor X return in the post-Secret Wars, like, mutant saga, and they could be portrayed by Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy. 22, Nightcrawler. Again, he's an OG X-Men. We're getting the reboot, so yeah, very possible that Nightcrawler goes. Mystique, same answer. Cyclops, same answer, but also, damn, we've seen Cyclops die before in Last Stand, and James Marsden, specifically his version of Cyclops, died in Last Stand, and he kind of got a raw deal in those X-Men movies. So I kind of like the idea of him maybe just getting like a happy ever after in a different timeline. 25, Gambit, nah. 26, Reed Richards, no. Doctor Doom, number 27, no. He's going to be in Secret Wars. Does he die in Secret Wars? Yes. All right, thanks so much for that question, and thanks so much for being a channel member, which guarantees your question will be answered here on the show, if it's appropriate, of course. And hell, even if it's not appropriate, I'll probably still answer it. But thank you so much for supporting the show in that way. It makes it possible for us to keep doing the show. All right, next. Hey everybody, Colton here, and this is the mailbag style show where I take your questions about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movies and streaming in general. Whatever you want to ask, send it in to the email address askcoltonnow@gmail.com, link in the description below. And hey, maybe you'll see your question featured right here on the show.